How's it going, guys? Today in the PhantomCave YouTube channel we're going to be having a look at two new stories today, and the first story we're going to be having a look at is The Night of La Mantra. The second story actually being Convent Island. So in the last probably couple of weeks I've been reading some Phantom comics to try and make up some time and to get these reviews out. So these sort of books, one comes from 1993, which is obviously its early 1990s book. It's The Night of La Mantra, and the other book actually comes from, I think, 2002. So let's have a look at this first book. I'll put the other book over there. And this actual story, it's one of those oldish sort of stories. It's one of those ones where I don't think that you actually get to see few actually publishing it again. Well, they could do in this year or next year, because I'm not too sure if it has ever been published again since 1993. But it's alright story, I'd say, but in some means it may need work, but that may be because I may have had different distractions going in the background as well. So yeah, this story, it comes from Norman Walker and Carlos Cruz, which was the artist for this comic. So this comic comes back from back in I think the second line of the Phantom. He's travelling home from wherever he has been. He's going to his home country of Bengala, as we all know, and the current Phantom back in those days, back in 1993, the current Phantom is explaining to Rex and I think Toma or some other a friend or friendly pygmy to Rex, is actually picking up this old book. It's the first actual edition of a classic, that's what the Phantom does say, and the Phantom starts reading it to Rex and the other little one. So this book, it's, well, because it came out in 1993, it's in quite good nick. I'm pretty sure I bought this last year. As well as the second comic we're going to be having a look at. And I think it's in quite good nick to being probably nearly 20 years old, 20 to 30 years old. It being that it's been published in 1993, a lot of people say you can tell if it's in good nick if it has like off-white to white pages or something like that. I think this is in quite good nick. The only exception to that would be the rip down on the bottom side of the comic, near the spine, basically. So the Phantom, basically, he saves a old mate from getting basically getting robbed from the two rascals, and he then goes on an adventure to basically make what we know as the Phantom. So he's going on an adventure, he meets up with these two guys. They obviously, in the back end of this story, have done something bad and have escaped where they're from, and the other sort of sort of knight. He is wanting to become Knight of La Mancha, which the La Mancha part of it is his last name or something. So he's trying to impress the king or the queen of some country, and this story, it has some villain. Well, obviously every story that you always talk about has its own little villain in it, so, or two even. So this story obviously has its own villains in it. The Phantom then goes on to save a village and the king. The knight then goes on to become a, well, knight in shining armor for the king. As we all know, in the next probably couple of pages you'll see that. And the Phantom actually also has to go on the lines of cooking in this big, this big kingdom of pirates. And he's been captured by pirates. He's been forced to probably cook, and he somehow escapes with the rest of them. He unleashes basically hell on the pirates, and the knight actually wins it for everyone. It's not actually the Phantom that wins it. And also there's a reference to Leonardo da Vinci, a very, very, very genius, very smart, and very a very good bloke. So a lot of people, I know you're gonna know this, but Leonardo da Vinci, he's one of my absolute, well, he'd be a lot of people's favourite artists. He's a genius, he was a genius in the making, and obviously he created the Mona Lisa. He had, I think, he's a part of, his name is a part of the TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the way you remember the four famous artists that came from that period. And this invention, the hot air balloon, is actually getting taken off and is a reference to Leonardo da Vinci's genius. Because I'm going to tell you something. I read in a book, because I like reading, right? I read in a book probably a couple of years ago that Leonardo da Vinci, I know a lot of people when I was at school didn't really believe me, but Leonardo da Vinci basically, he invented the first ever helicopter with 4 people in the main sort of area of the machine, and he would get people, those 4 people, to basically go in a circle so that the main propellers would actually go. So I know I've said that when I was at school probably a few years ago, and I know a lot of people didn't really believe me. A lot of people hadn't even heard of, like, Leonardo da Vinci had even created some sort of helicopter. As we all know, he's an artist, he's an geographic sort of guy, and his historical links to a lot of the things are very great. Now we got to keep going on this comic book journey to a lot of great places. The Phantom obviously saves the king, and what he does do, he saves the king. The knight becomes a king, sort of gets knight sirship, so sireship. So then the knight is basically, he is given knightship, and he's basically Knight of La Mancha. That's what his name is now. And that then goes on to tell a very historical and very classic adventure, which the book that I think this references off, I have not read and I've not heard about. And then we have the attention all Phantom fans, the old Phantom Official Fan Club Australia ads, and we'll get into the next comic. I'll put that on over here somewhere. So, Convent Island. It's a story which, obviously, yes, again, it has pirates in it. It has a very good story with it. And it being a news story, it being a Jim Shepard publication story, it means that a lot of great things came out from Jim Shepard when he was still alive, and he unfortunately passed away, I think, nearly a decade ago, I think. I'm not too sure about the years on when Jim Shepard actually passed away, so if you may want to clarify when he passed away, put it down in the comment section below and they'll answer my question. The Convent Island. So there's this sort of sister act, referencing that from the Sister Act 1 and 2 movies, yes. So there's this basically big sort of sister sort of campaign, and one of the sisters actually saves the Phantom from actually dying and basically not going home to the Bengali, as we all know, and not probably starting a family or something. And obviously offspring, the Phantom, future Phantom generations, as we all know. And the sister, what you don't know, in this story, there's a lot of twists, there's a lot of plots, and there's a whole lot of drama in this. So the Phantom, for a short period of time, has forgotten what and who he is. So he in the next probably couple of pages, he goes on like a little excursion into the house or the building where he is. So he's off in there. He's got, well, he finds out a lot of stuff, and basically the chief sort of person led to this. So basically he destroys the pirates, he then destroys the pirate leader, and we are leading up to the last couple of pages. There's a lot of twists in this and a lot of drama in this comic, and the former pirate leader tells what she knows, and the Phantom walks out. So that's, I guess, that's sort of a cliffhanger, as we all know. And a lot of the times when we get a cliffhanger, we are left thinking what could happen, what should happen, and what may happen in the future. The next actual issue after that would have been the 2002 annual special. It came with 9 stories plus a replica of Feud number 11 from 1949. That is part 2 of The Seahorse. And right here with me right now, I have got the 2021 annual that will be coming out. The review for this hopefully will be coming out soon. I'm thinking either to get it out there in a week or so, or wait until I've read all of it and experienced what the love of the Phantom is, and then reveal it, obviously. But this is what it looks like. It's a great little book. It's 244 pages of absolutely sly-berry awesomeness, and we are going to get in to the last couple of these. We are going to be getting into the end phrase of this video. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed these 2 old comics, one from 1993 and one from 2000 I think 2002 or 2001. I hope you enjoyed all this. I hope you enjoy the next couple of months and the next couple of weeks of Phantom content, and as always, keep Phantom caving, and we'll see you later on the Phantom Cave YouTube channel. See you.